What a night of boxing. We had two good cards on tonight. We had the Warrington versus Martinez, and we had the Riakporhe versus Jumah. In this video, we talk about the boxer card, the Riakporhe card. So let's talk about Riakporhe versus Jumah first and foremost. I think that Riakporhe, and I've said this for quite some period of time, that Riakporhe is fighting within himself. I think there's a lot more to come from him, but we're really just not seeing it. It's a bit like how people describe Joseph Parker prior to his fight against Chisora, the second fight, that there's a lot that he could do, but we need to see a lot more from him. But you can see some little talent in this, over there. But with Riakporhe, the first 3 rounds are hella boring. I'm not going to like sugarcoat it. It was dry. Like, we're talking brown bread and butter. That's the level of entertainment that the fight provided in the first 3 to 4 rounds. Okay, Riakporhe was doing the simple 1-2 jab, just stepping in and out of range, barely any inside fighting. When they got to the inside, he was just clinching. That's pretty much exactly what happened for the first, I would say, 3 to 4 rounds. Okay, I think within the 4th round or 5th round, I can't remember on the specific round, but there was a knockdown that Riakporhe did to Jumah. Dan Jumah, for me, even though he was confident in this fight going into this fight, I think that his style would not, especially right now, would not be Riakporhe. And I think the best time for him to beat in Riakporhe was about 4 years ago. And I think Riakporhe caught him at the right time. Riakporhe hit him with a good 1-2, knocked him down. Dan Jumah, next round, he kind of looked like he was recovering, and round after that, I think it was round 7, he was recovering even more, and I think he was putting it on Riakporhe. Shortly afterwards, I think round 6, he had some level of success. It was a cagey affair. The tide and the confidence seemed to sway to Dan Jumah. He looked like he was about to really stick it on Riakporhe, even though he was doing the same things he was doing in the early part of the fight, he didn't look as confident within himself. And going up to round 7, I think 7, it was all Dan Jumah. Round 8, this is when Riakporhe kind of stepped off the gas a little bit, but hit him with a good right hand to the stomach. That's all she wrote. Sometimes it just takes that one shot, that perfect timing shot, that will knock out a man, and that's exactly what happened in this situation. Riakporhe, lives to fight another day, and look, let's talk about his corner. His corner man was Angel Fernandez. He ain't cutting it for me. That's just for me. The style that he has is not good enough to not only win the World Championships back, but sustain the World Championships back. But that was Riakporhe, good win for Riakporhe, and he can move on. In his next couple of fights, people are saying that he'll beat Okoli. I think Okoli's too much for him at this point. But I'd like to see him have a couple more fights. Even, Isaac Chamberlain will be a good fight. We'll just see, okay? Now let's touch upon Dan Azeez versus Reece Cartwright. I think that the first 5 rounds, I had it 3-2 to Cartwright. I think Dan Azeez looked sluggish. He looked sloppy. He was all over the place. He wasn't setting up his shots. I don't know what game plan that he went into the fight with, but if he had a game plan, it appeared that he wasn't sticking to it. He was just headhunting, looking for the knockout, and it was all over the place. His opponent was catching him flush with a few jabs. I think Dan could have fought better within the first, I would say, 5 rounds. After that, round 6, Dan Azeez came to life. He started understanding resistance, slipping shots, jabbing, at least setting up the punch, and then everything else just fell into place. His opponent, he started, setting up traps, catching him with the counter right, etc., etc., etc. And I think after that, I think his opponent was just, his confidence was just dropping and dropping and dropping. The stamina of Cartwright, I think, played a key factor to assisting Dan Azeez with the win. I think Dan Azeez's power kind of gradually affected him over a period of time. I think Dan could have threw a lot more body shots, but regardless of that, the defense of Cartwright and the durability of him is second to none. So you have to give him his applause. Okay, so coming on to round 7, Dan just looked powerful. He looked unstoppable. Okay, and I was really surprised when Cartwright survived that round. Round 8 came along. Dan, hit him with as much power shot as humanly possible. Left, was it right hook to the body, left uppercut, right hand up, bruv. It was amazing. So Dan Aziz could take some lessons from this fight and understand where he, especially in the early part of the fight, where he could have done a lot better. Okay, and he used the blueprint that he done in the second half of the fight, maybe a little bit sooner. But regardless of that, good win, 16-0. We move to the next opponent. He wants either the winner or loser of Boatsy versus Craig Richards or Anthony Yard. Okay, so all fights for Dan Aziz, related to those days, will be a great fight. So I can't wait for the progress of Dan Aziz. But overall, it was a good card on the Boxer card. And now, or in the next video after this, I'm going to be talking about the Warrington versus Martinez card. So peace, love, prosperity. I'm going to see you in the next video. Peace.